Hey
Okay.
Rosa,
Good morning.
how
How
are
are
you?
you?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm awake and I have fantastic bed hair. Can you see it? So I'm wearing a hat today.
Yeah, cover up. That's fine.
Yeah, I know. I have a business lesson later as well, so I really I need to look smarter than this.
Maybe you can like comb it and flatten it
Yeah,
down somehow.
I'm hoping the hat does its job. I hope it does it and
Yeah.
keeps my hat hair down out of the way.
That's funny.
How are
Hi.
you,
Well,
Rosa?
good. Yeah. I'm good. Just hanging in there.
Yeah, hanging in there. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Hanging in there. Me too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just keeping busy in different ways. So yeah, I'm all right.
Keeping
Maybe
busy, teaching, working
yeah.
hard.
Yeah, this week we have quite a few lessons, so that's good.
Yeah. My house
And
has never been so clean. Busy in the house, constantly cleaning things.
yeah. I'm all right at that as well, I guess. I
Yeah.
just do well. I have to study as well, so that takes up a bit of time. And
Yeah.
then yeah, just my hobbies.
Yeah. Is there any
Mm.
particular activity you find yourself you're good at in this time?
Yeah, well, I love cooking, so
Mhm.
made some lasagna yesterday, so that was
Ooh,
awesome.
now lasagna is an interesting one because, of course, there are differences in different areas sometimes of how people
Mm.
make lasagna. How do you make lasagna?
Well, I usually make veggie lasagna, but we made
Mm,
a ragu yesterday.
okay, tell me how you make your veggie lasagna.
Well, you
What do
just
you use?
make the tomato sauce,
Hmm.
but you don't put meat in it, so it would be the same as making a ragu, but without the meat. So you just
So,
make saute
mhm.
the onion and carrots and celery, and then add tomato sauce, and then I like to put olives and capers and
Mm,
whatever veggies available, either courgettes or aubergines or
I once
peppers.
had a fantastic thing in Veneto. It was pumpkin and sausage. Now they didn't call it lasagna, although it looked like lasagna. It was the Italian word for mess or something. I can't remember exactly what they called it.
For mess.
Huh? What did you say, Claudia? Pasticcio.
Ah, pasticcio. Oh, like a mess.
Like a mess, yeah, and pasticcio.
That sounds amazing.
Really good. It was really good because it
With
was
sausage and
so there was the saltiness of the
pumpkin.
sausage and there was the sweetness of the sweet of the how do you call it? Sorry, the butternut squash.
Ah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I love butternut squash and pumpkin. They're a bit too sweet for my tastes.
I'm very fond of butternut squash. Yum.
Maybe in a soup.
Yeah, for sure. They go
Yeah, with a
well.
bit of spice. I love spicy, so.
Oh yes, you're making me want winter to start again. To get into all the winter vegetables again. But oh, I'm very much looking forward to summer food.
Yes,
Tomatoes
tomatoes. I can't wait for tomatoes.
and aubergines to come back into season. Although they're kind of in the supermarket all year round, but they're
Yeah,
definitely
they are.
in
I
summer.
have aubergines all the time.
Mm, yeah.
But we're getting lost with food. Guys, say hello.
Easily done. Easily done.
I should have picked the food focus again. So guys, say hello. Where are you from? How
Mhm.
are you? Where are you?
Yes.
And leave a comment in the chat box if you can, please.
Yeah.
That would be really nice.
I-
So
mhm.
Yes, we have a focus on talent and skills today. Do you have any particular, actually, before I say that, what do you think people mean by talent or skills? What's the difference between talent and skill?
This is kind of a difficult one because for a lot of my life, I refused to believe there was such a thing as talent.
Oh, really? Hmm.
I was pretty sure that there was no such thing. It was just hard work. But
But surely some people are predisposed to do certain things more than others, right?
yeah, and I do agree with that nowadays. But I guess when I was a teenager, I was frustrated that other people were naturally better than I was.
At
the
what? What were you jealous? Which talents were you jealous of?
the injustice of the world did not give me the talent for drawing very well.
Already, but you're very creative. You do lots of art.
And I think that was the frustration. I remember some of my friends, two of them in particular, at high school, who could draw stick men just really, really full of emotion and movement and things like that. And I could never draw them with a really nice mark and I was very frustrated. They were very naturally talented, for sure.
So you would have liked to draw better.
Yeah, for sure. I had to work
Hmm.
kind of hard to get anywhere better at drawing. But others were often natural talents.
Nice.
Are there
And
any
so
skills?
what's the difference between a talent and a skill, do you think?
I think a talent is something that you used that
Inside?
great word. Yeah, maybe
Hmm.
predisposed to
One
something.
is, well, it's inborn, whereas a skill is acquired.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Maybe that's the difference. I've never really thought about it, actually.
I guess you could also describe a talent as a skill. It's a skill that you do. It's just that when you use the word talent, you want to describe it as quite innate. Like you said, inborn. It's nice.
Hi,
Hey,
Gisela.
hey.
Very good. Hello, nice to see you.
See what
From
talent?
Genova, the beautiful Genova. What's your skill? What's your talent, Gisela? Do you have any?
Hmm. What are you good at? What do you think you're very good at? What are you good
So,
at?
me,
Mm.
I'm good at drawing and painting.
Yeah.
I'm good at sewing,
Oh, lovely.
and I'm good at cooking.
Good. Are you sewing anything at the moment? Is a project
I
going?
just fixed my slippers the other day. That's it. I
Fantastic.
just fix things. I'm very good at fixing
Very,
clothes. So like, so
very
if
useful
there's
skill.
a hole or buttons missing or edges to be done, then
Mm.
I really like. I find it very relaxing to sew actually.
A really important skill to have.
Mm. And I guess I just picked it up. I didn't really. Well, my mom sewed when I was a kid. Maybe I just learned by passive observation.
Yeah, could have. Yeah.
Yeah, I never really got taught, but yeah. What else am I good at? Not much else. Good at people. I'm good
Teaching.
with kids.
Teaching.
Yeah, I'm good with kids. Those are my main talents,
That's a
skills.
pretty good skill set.
Yeah, it keeps me busy. It's enough, so it's good. It's okay.
Brilliant.
Especially the drawing that takes up a lot of hours, so that's good.
It's a really nice talent to have,
Mm.
for sure.
So today we have discovering talents and skills, and then sequencing phases and teaching a talent. So maybe we can teach someone can teach us a talent. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Or or we can teach each other a talent, maybe.
Yeah, I can juggle. Can you juggle?
I think, see, now juggling is one of those that you have to practice for hours and hours and hours and hours
For sure.
to get. better at? I guess like many things though. Playing an instrument, I guess, would be the same.
Yeah,
You're not gonna get better at it if you don't practice it.
exactly, absolutely. Shall we have a look?
So is that a skill maybe? That's a skill.
I guess at the start it would probably be a skill if you put the effort in, but then to
Mm.
be really, really excellent, it might be described as a talent.
Mm.
I think if you were naturally exciting, creative, and interesting with it, then it could you could describe someone as very talented.
Nice. Gisela says, in these days, obviously, I'm good at cooking. Unfortunately, I wouldn't say that's unfortunate. It would be unfortunate if you didn't know how to cook and you had to cook. That would be unfortunate.
Some people hate cooking though. It's true. It's
Yeah,
it's a forced
yeah, maybe, yeah.
a forced behavior this period.
And we have Vincenzo from Bologna. Vince in the house. All
Nice,
right,
nice
perfect.
events.
All right, so let's have a look at this focus and see what we can learn.
Yeah, great.
So, what do you want to read?
Go for it. Okay. What do you consider? Oh, first we've got hidden talents. Talents.
Mm-hmm.
What do you consider a talent? Do you think there is a difference between a talent and a skill? Yeah, we've already kind of talked about that a little bit.
Mm.
We've covered that. Number two, is a talent something we are born with, or can we learn a talent? Hmm. We've already covered that a little bit as well, right? Maybe a
Mm.
talent is something. I think you can discover a talent. For example, you might be predisposed, but it's not. It's not like you were born with the ability to do it. It's
Mm.
just that when you started doing it, you found
I
yourself.
wonder what Gisela and Vincenzo think about this.
Hmm. Yeah,
It would be really nice to hear their opinion on it as well.
yeah, for sure.
But
Um,
yeah, I'm still not sure which one you learn and which one you're born with, actually.
um, I think probably like you're not born with much, are you? You have to try.
I guess you learn everything.
Just depends
True.
if you're quick, if you pick it up quickly, or if it takes you a longer time to pick it up.
Hmm.
Hmm. Do you or someone you know have an unusual talent?
We
Hmm.
could go really weird here. I'm thinking of those TV shows where people have unusual talents.
Or like being able to put their tongue in a wobbly shape.
Oh yeah, I can do that actually.
That is a weird talent. No, there's a worse one. And you, that's
Uh-huh.
possible. But you know, with people that can make it into a W shape.
Yeah, I can't do that one. That one's weird.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's not one of my talents or skills.
But yeah, what are other talents? I'm trying to think of, Britain's Got Talent, what sort of things people come up with. People come with pets sometimes.
That's
And
yeah.
one that I quite like and is quite fun is, when you play crystal glasses. So you've
Yeah.
got glasses with water in it, and it goes.
I know that exists. I do not want to listen to it.
Gisela says, yes, I think you're born with a talent.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
born with a talent and you learn a skill.
Vincenzo's jumping in too.
Okay, very good. You need to train your talent. Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's a really good insight. I think we are often all talented at quite a few things, but
Mm,
unless we identify and have the opportunity and the dedication to train it, we can often either neglect or never know we have a talent for something.
mm.
which is often that's a really sad thing to think about, actually. Oh no, what talents do I have that I've never experienced? Should I be, I don't know, a golfer? I've never played golf.
Well, I've never played golf.
We're both Scottish and we've never played
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We might be really great golfers, but
natural talent.
the only thing I fancy about golfing is driving around in the carts with beers in the back. Actually,
I don't think you can do that everywhere as well. That's a terrible thing.
that's the thing I'm most interested in to think of golf.
Are
Uh,
there any talents that you
hmm.
wish you had, Rosa?
What? Sorry.
Are there any talents that you wish you had?
Um.
And people in the comments can answer this too. Anything that you wish you were good at?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Like in the picture, I wish I was much better at dancing.
Yeah, I like the act of it, but I know that when I do it, I just look so silly. I'm having a great time, but I'm just moving around like.
Yeah. 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 And what else? Not sure. I wish. I wish I could hold my breath for longer underwater.
Hmm. Well, do you mean like supernaturally, or do you
No,
just
no, just longer.
longer, just to stay under the water a bit longer?
Yeah, just to stay under the water for longer.
You
I
have a
guess there again, you just have to train yourself to do that.
Well, with this coronavirus experience, I have completely quit smoking, so
Hmm.
my lungs are feeling better than ever.
Yeah.
I can definitely hold my breath a lot longer than I could before, for sure.
Okay. And are there any talents you wish you had? Yeah. So I wonder if Vincenzo and Gisela are typing some answers.
Yeah,
Just
Vincenzo,
wait for a moment.
what do you wish you had a talent for?
So
Or
I think we've established that you are born with a talent.
Mhm. A natural predisposition. That's something you
Uh-huh.
said before, which I really like. Natural predisposition. That could be a positive thing or a negative thing. A natural predisposition to
Mm-hmm.
immunodisorders, immunodeficiencies, is a negative thing, whereas a natural talent for or natural predisposition for balance could be really
Mm.
good for gymnastics.
So I've got you're born with a talent, but you learn a skill.
Hmm. And you can naturally you can describe someone as being talented if they are very excellent at something, but they maybe just they weren't born with it, they just worked really hard at it, but your
Yeah.
experience of them is just that they're really excellent.
Yeah. So Gisela here is saying to develop your or their talent, Gisela, because you're talking about people.
Hmm.
Many people unfortunately don't have the opportunity to develop their talent.
Yeah,
True. That is also the case sometimes.
yeah, we often have to just work to be able to pay the rent and not have
Yeah,
time.
and you don't have, time to work on those uh other hopes and dreams.
For sure.
All right, so we have here some vocabulary. So, what are you good at? We have using adjectives plus at, great at, brilliant at, fantastic at, terrible at, hopeless at, useless at, and lousy at.
Lousy at that,
Hmm.
positive or negative?
So there, I'd say half of them are good and the other half are bad.
Yeah, so lousy means bad, really bad at.
Lousy sucks.
Yeah, it comes from, I think it comes from the word for louse, which is a type of insect that would eat boats back in the Navy. It would eat the wood or
Oh,
materials or even biscuits and food. And if food was lousy, it would mean that it was bad. It was full of these insects. Nowadays, we use it to describe our talents and skills. If you are lousy at something, it means you're useless for it.
so lousy comes from this infesting insect. Can you say that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. A useless object because it is infested with lice or louse. I guess it's not super important. Just to know that it's a negative thing. Super negative.
But I've got a bit of uh, uh, an explanation for it there. Just sort of put it together.
Yeah, yeah, no worries.
Whatever it lived on. Okay, it's fine. So lousy comes from an infesting insect that would destroy whatever it lived on, meaning it's bad.
Yeah, it was used to became
Bad.
useless.
It sucks.
So the students in well following us, Vincenzo and Gisela, if you is there anything that you are lousy at? Is there anything that you are completely useless at? Hmm.
Hmm.
Now be careful, this is definitely a collocation. So we wouldn't use useful for, useless for, or lousy in. It's really natural to say lousy at or brilliant at.
Yeah. So we generally follow it with at
Yeah.
all of these.
Rosa, I've asked you lots about your talents.
Hmm.
Is there anything you're particularly terrible at?
Yeah, I was just trying to think. No, I'm fantastic.
Every single thing.
I'm good at everything.
About staying indoors for a month at a time.
Yes, I am lousy at staying indoors. I am terrible at staying indoors.
Most of us are quite,
I I need air.
yeah, me too. I wish I had a balcony.
Well, yeah, I have those long terrace entrance, similar to yours.
Okay, yeah.
So just
Courtyard
walk
unit.
up and down that.
Pacing back and forth.
Yeah. Ah, just hit myself.
Oh dear.
Right.
I'm
Yeah, I'm actually, that's what I am. How do you say, I'm very clumsy. So
clumsy.
I'm, I'm great at being clumsy.
Lousy at avoiding mishaps.
Yes.
I guess
I always have bruises everywhere because I just bump into things. I don't pay attention.
oh dear, that's yeah. I'm quite good at navigating my way around objects.
I'm lousy. Yeah, at spacing and distances,
Spatial awareness,
coordination.
coordination. Yeah, that's a good word. Coordination. I'm
Uh,
lousy at playing guitar, Gisela.
Actually, yes, yes. That's also, I am lousy at playing guitar. I'm terrible at singing. That's
Mm,
another one.
me too. Yeah, I'm useless at it. You know, I'm good at waking up in the morning for something scheduled.
Mm.
I'm absolutely hopeless at waking up for something I want to do. If I have the opportunity to sleep in, I do.
Yes.
Morning person.
Mm. That's good. What's been changed is saying my first talent is the capacity to run fast and for a long time. But if I don't practice, I lose this capacity very rapidly. Wow, Rinchen. So, what a nice sentence.
Hmm.
That's perfect. Well done.
It's really nice, but I feel like maybe that word capacity is a little bit odd in English. I
Mm,
think that's maybe relying a bit too much on Italian thinking
yeah.
because capacity does work, but in this sentence, it sounds overly formal.
Mm,
I
I
think
see what you mean.
I think we would probably just omit it completely and say my maybe not first talent, my biggest talent is running fast and just omit capacity. You can maybe use ability would be okay as well here. Yeah, what a pity, Vincenzo. COVID is your enemy. For sure. For sure. At the end of the month, you're going to have to do some serious training to get your capacity or your
It's a
ability back.
sprints from the living room to the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Around and around the living room table. Do you have any children you can chase?
Alright, so capacity, my biggest talent, my first talent, yeah, is running, or ability as well.
Capacity is totally fine. It communicates really well and
It
is
just
good English.
sounds maybe a bit formal in this case. I see what you mean.
Maybe just sounds a little bit. And often we have to remember with you guys at level 10 to 13, we need to start identifying where our language can be a bit more natural rather than leaning on our first language. And often, because Italian, its root is Italian, is Latin, and because Britain, English, is a mix of a lot of language with a root in Latin as well, often the Latin root words are the formal words. So when Italians speak in English and rely on their Italian, they often sound overly formal. They often come
Mm.
across using words
Well,
like
yeah, because it's a
intelligent.
Latin language, right?
Exactly, and using words like intelligent instead of smart. Because of our
Mm.
history in the past, we had the obviously France was a dominating force, and the intellectuals all spoke Latin, but the native language to Britain was maybe Anglo-Saxon or something in the mix of there. So words that come from our Anglo-Saxon roots, like smart, are often seen as more natural or more informal language, and words that came from the intellectuals using Latin were seen as more formal language, more like that.
Mm.
So often when you use the word intelligent or capacity, it sounds a bit more formal, whereas if you use
Yeah.
smart or
I also would relate capacity to, measurements and space, sort of.
yeah, yeah, I
So
agree.
the capacity of, I don't know, help me out here, of a of a container or something.
Yeah, and in this case, it does work with talents because we're thinking like metaphorically of a human body as a container for talents.
Ooh,
So
in
having the
that way. Ah, that's cool. That's a
so it
really cool way of thinking about it.
it does really work here, and you might use the word capacity in a formal setting, like if you're doing job interviews or something, and you see and a new person comes
I would
in,
still use
and
skills over capacity, though, possibly.
for sure, but compare, he has a lot of skills, but I don't think he has the capacity to fulfill the job.
Mm. Ah,
So,
nice.
so
Okay.
that maybe identifies lots of individual skills, but him as a container for this particular thing, like a job, is maybe not, he doesn't have the capacity. He is not big enough to hold all of the skills you need to
Mm.
do that job. So it is a different word. It is a slightly different word. It is useful.
All right. Good. So, mm, Okay, so what should we do here? So we have some talents. We can ask our students if they have these talents. So let's play a little game.
Go for it.
So, um, do you have the talent for? Uh, wait, I've lost my list. Ooh, crossing your eyes.
Now, you mean crossing my eyes like my physical eyes, not crossing the T's and dotting the I's, right?
I
So
did.
wait, let me try. I don't know. Am I doing it?
Oh my God, yes. Vincenzo says, I'm hopeless at dancing. I am hopeless at dancing.
Yeah, that's a level 4 mistake, Vincenzo. Come on now.
When I was a boy, I used to stay at the bar of the disco with a glass of something for chatting.
You used to stay at the
So
bar.
instead of dancing, you would sit at the bar and chat.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you want to? So I am hopeless at dancing. When I was a boy, or when I was younger, you could say, I used to, so to express something that happened in the past regularly. I used to stay at the bar of the disco. What would you say, Rob?
Yeah, I used to just stay at the bar, I would say.
Stay at the bar with a glass of something
I would
for
say
chat.
this, but again, that word disco is definitely leaning on Italian again. I think we would naturally say at the bar
Club.
or at the club. The club. But a student of mine told me that the club in Italian is more, or maybe American, is more related to like a strip club,
Mm.
whereas in English it
Yeah,
would be a
also if I think of club, I think of somewhere where you have to get a membership.
for sure in English, if you say club to someone and you have the context of dancing, it's probably going to be understood that you're talking about a nightclub.
Yeah, nightclub, which means disco, discotheque.
Disco, unfortunately, was a music movement in the 70s and early 80s. So when I hear someone using the word going to the disco, I automatically hear my mum or my dad exactly going to the disco, which is not cool. So if an Italian uses the disco with a British person, yeah, we will probably find it quite an archaic word, quite an old word. So
This
try
one
to,
here as well.
yeah.
I got so many disco moves, guys. I could keep going on. Oh my goodness. All right, this is good. Let's see. I haven't received an answer about crossing your eyes, guys. So, next one. Are you good at snapping your fingers? Can you snap your fingers? Oh, I can do it with my right hand, but I'm useless at it with my left hand for some reason.
I'm not so good, it's not so strong on my
Yeah,
left.
that's the thing. I'm lacking strength on this side.
Hmm.
At the disco's bar, he said, nice.
And
Okay.
that's a little confusion as well because some
And
of these words are used in a strange way in English. Like I say, at the bar, we wouldn't say at the disco's bar, like we wouldn't say the house's door. We would probably say the bar of the disco or the door of the house.
mm,
We probably wouldn't use disco again. we understand that in the context the bar is the bar, so we wouldn't even say disco. We would just say he wanted to say at the bar. That would be fine. We would omit disco completely.
All right, so let's see what we have coming up. Okay, explaining a sequence. So we have starting out, continuing, and finishing. So we have different sentences here that we have to place under the correct category. So when you completed all the steps, the first thing you do is, the next step is to, before you begin, the best place to begin is, the last step is, once you've done that, then in the end, and when you finish that, then ... So, let's place these under the correct part of a sequence. So is the sentence starting out, continuing, or finishing?
Because we're going to describe a talent.
You guys at home can give this a go. I'm going to reveal some of the answers in the meantime. So
when you've completed
all the steps, finishing.
Yeah, I reckon so. Maybe the guys at home can get quickly typing to any of these. The first thing you do, starting, continuing, or finishing, Rosa, what do you think?
Starting.
For sure, the first. That's a nice, clear one.
It's the first thing you do.
Yeah,
and then the next step is continuing.
I just want to mention here that the first thing, first is an ordinal number, and the first thing is number 1. But we're ordering something. So if we have an order of something, we describe it with ordinal numbers, first, second, third. But be careful, because Vincenzo used an expression here, I'm 60th. Now, I think you mean I'm 60. When we describe ages, we describe it with the number I'm 60. 60th would be the 60th thing in a row,
in a line, or in a race.
Yeah. But
or on the 60th floor, for example, of a building.
Just in this sequence here, the 60th thing to do is, now that would be a long list of things to do, to be fair. But yeah, and be careful with your ordinal numbers and when to use them. We want to use them in an order of some sort, for sure. Oh, sorry, you had the next step is to...
Yeah. So the next step is something that you would use, is a sentence you would use to continue.
Yeah. Before you begin. Before you begin, even before.
So that's even before starting out.
Before, yeah, absolutely. Right at the
beginning.
beginning.
So if I was explaining to you how to make a sandwich, I'd say before you begin, you need to buy some bread.
Yeah. Get a job.
The best place to begin is also starting out. The last step would be finishing up. Once you've done that, then continuing. In the end, obviously finishing. And when you finish that, then, so that would be continuing. So passage to the next step of something.
So
I'm in my... No, you would say I'm in my 60s, Vincenzo.
Yeah, this is a bit strange as well. Can I say I'm in my 60th? You could say it, but you need to identify what 60th. So you could say I am in my 60th year, but that's strange as well. We don't say that. 60th year would be something like a building or an institution or a business that has reached its 60th year. Much more natural, and I want you to say this from now on, I am 60. I am 60.
I'm in my 60s is good as well.
It's great. I'm in my 60s, but again, if you want to use your exact age, So say you're
Then you
60.
cannot. Yeah,
Yeah.
60 means a decade.
Yeah. But we would not say I'm in my 60th. We wouldn't. No.
No.
Okay, I'll take that away. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I am 60. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going
Um,
to. What are we
for
doing, Rosa?
example, in a race.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So we have these sequencing phrases. Maybe we could teach people about a skill or a talent or something we're good at using these phrases, and the students could work on sending us some instructions. Use one of
Nice.
each, yeah, and send it in. So Vincenzo and Gisela, if you have a skill or maybe something you just like doing, like origami or knitting, or I don't know, even something simple like making breakfast. You can use these expressions to construct a much more interesting, dynamic thing to listen to instead of first do this, then do this, then do that, then do this, and finish. That's level 5 stuff, level 4 or 5. You guys are level 10 to 13, so I'm expecting some more interesting things to listen to. Otherwise, as a listener, I'm going to get bored. So I want you to start using some more interesting language, like the starting out. The best place to begin is. Well, once you've done that, a little present perfect in there. Once you've done that, excellent. And in the end is really nice when you've completed all the steps. Rosa, is there anything you want to teach us?
I could teach you how to make some pasta al pesto.
Hey, fantastic! That was
And
the first.
Gisela can relate to that very well
Yeah.
because she's in Genoa.
So you tell me, and then I will tell you what I first cooked for my partner, who is Italian. I cooked pasta
Ooh,
pesto. I
did
cooked pasta
you?
pesto, but you
Well,
might
that
be
went well.
surprised with the ingredients I used.
All right, so before you begin, you need to get your ingredients. So you'll need some basil, some garlic, some olive oil, some pine nuts.
Mm.
You need a pestle and mortar, and you need to buy some linguine. It would be handy to have potatoes and green beans as well, because they're going to make the dish a lot more delicious. Vincenzo, okay. We'll get back to you that on a second. So the first thing you do is you have to make the pesto. So in your pestle and mortar, you crush,
Yeah. Grind, maybe.
crush some garlic, some basil, some olive oil, and some pine nuts together until
Mm.
you get a lovely green, saucy sort of
Mm.
uh, product.
Yeah,
Product
paste.
paste. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Then so the next step is to boil some water, and once you've done that, then you can put the pasta into the water and wait for it to be ready. You can also boil the potatoes, the potatoes and green beans in with the pasta. And once you've boiled everything, you drain the pasta and you mix it with the pesto. Make sure you keep some of the water from the pasta when it was boiling, so you can make it nice and creamy. And yeah, just add the potatoes, the green beans, And so the last
Am I
step,
confused? Am I confused? Are you putting potatoes and green beans in pesto?
yeah,
What?
that's like the next level.
Okay,
Gisela, yes, see, Gisela saying you're brilliant at making pesto. See,
potatoes
she
and green
knows.
beans.
Yeah, that's like the next level of making pesto pasta. Yeah,
Wow.
it's
Okay,
pretty
you
good.
may not be so surprised at my pasta invention then, if you're adding all that. Fantastic. Okay,
What did
sorry.
you add? What did you do, Rab?
I added sausage and green bell peppers,
Oh no 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 no.
onion, and an onion. There's an onion in
Oh
there.
what? No, stop it, please. You're
It was
hurting my
so good.
ears.
It was so good.
Onions. Are you
Onions.
joking? Gisela, why don't you go ahead and say something to Rab, please? Because I cannot. I cannot.
I can. Matthew. I
So
can.
in the end, you sit down, you pour a glass of wine, and you enjoy your pasta.
Very interesting with the sausages and peppers, right?
No,
Oh,
I can't back you up on that.
yeah, and
Sorry.
cheese as well inside. I think I put cheese inside too.
And Claudia ate it.
Yeah, she did. Like a good person on a date. Not making out to be rude. Fantastic.
All
So I'm
right.
gonna have to take your advice. I'm gonna have to make some pasta pesto with potato and
So
green
make sure
beans.
you cut. So the best way would be to slice the potatoes in round discs.
Okay, okay. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah.
So it work as well if you made it with gnocchi, with potato.
No, generally with linguine you would do that.
Okay, no, I'm just like put the pasta and the potato together in form of gnocchi.
Well, yeah, you can make gnocchi al pesto, and you could add green beans. I wouldn't put potatoes in gnocchi though,
Yeah.
because it's already full of it.
I might try
Anyway, we're
that.
back to food, Rab.
Yeah, we are. That was a full circle in 50 minutes. Fantastic. That was so
We just can't stop talking about food, basically.
like I like the examples here. Before we finish up, I just want to double check a couple of things here. Before you begin, you have to buy a news sporting shoes. Be careful with news. News is giornali, right? A newspaper.
The news,
News.
information.
Whereas I think you're using this as the adjective, and remember, we don't
Goodbye.
pluralize adjectives. They have to be to buy a new pair of
And also
shoes.
watch out for the spelling of buy.
Yeah, absolutely. And also
Bye.
another quick thing of at least 5 times a week, not at week. Careful your prepositions there, but I like the engagement, Vincenzo. Thank you very much for your examples. Rosa
Gisela's
is
just hungry, basically.
yeah, this is nice. I have now. We don't say I have mouth watering because mouth watering is an adjective. So you describe something as mouth watering. So you could describe
It
your mouth.
sounds
Yeah, it
it
sounds a bit.
sounds mouth-watering.
It sounds mouth watering. Yeah. Or you could say the full sentence. My mouth is watering, but it is a bit strange. It's a little bit strange.
Yeah, I'm salivating.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds amazing. I'm drooling. It's a bit
Like one of those big dogs that drool all over the place.
drool is good. I'm drooling.
Drool.
You're right, Rosa, you said exactly what we would probably say. That sounds mouth watering. That sounds mouth, or it sounds mouth watering. Excellent.
How drooling? D-R-E
Drool.
drooling.
OOL.
Ooh,
OL. Drooling.
no zero.
Drool. To drool.
Drooling.
Oh, I'm drooling at the sound of that fantastic pesto. It sounds a bit gross.
You're
Though.
welcome, guys.
That sounds
All
a bit
right,
gross.
so Let's review what we have done today, yeah?
Yeah, that's good.
So we talked about the difference between talents and skills. A lot of discussion on that, but we finally agreed that you are born with a talent, so it's an innate capacity, right?
Or a predisposition. Mm.
A predisposition, yes. And and then a skill is just something you learn, is more something you learn afterwards.
And if you want, guys, when you come back to school, I want you to try using these sequencing expressions to teach your teacher a new skill. Okay?
That would be
Something
so
simple.
nice.
Bring them in. We're always looking to learn new things. One of the nicest things about being a teacher is learning so much. And we had lots of interesting ways to express starting out. Go for it, Rosa.
Yeah, what else? We did lousy, which is something bad, something destroyed by louse, which was an infesting insect, but it means bad. We discussed about capacity. So we said in this case, it would have been better to use the word talent or skill or ability. We discussed about the difference between club and disco.
Yeah.
So go clubbing. And then we were saying, we were discussing ordinal numbers and sequencing. So we saw some sentences for different stages of a talent or skill.
Yeah.
And that's it. We said mouth-watering, something that sounds delicious. That's it.
It was great to see you this morning, Rosa. Have a nice day.
Yes, you too, Rab. And Vincenzo and Gisela, thank you very much for your input.
Bye.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone. Thank you. Have a good day. Take care.